All right. Hold on. Do you think that you are a heavy social media user?
Oh yeah, for sure.
How often are you on social media?
I think as far as like quantifying it, I'm probably on it. I can't say a number of times a day. If I'm not doing anything, I'm probably on social media. It's probably the better way to look at it. I'm on there a lot.
What social media do you find yourself on the most?
It's probably a tie between either Insta or Facebook. I'd probably say Facebook, to be honest.
And then why do you prefer these platforms?
For me, like I just kind of started with Facebook. That was kind of like the first one I went to. I mean, it's not really. It's just kind of like what's familiar, I guess.
Okay. So in what ways do the words and phrases you use on social media change depending on which platform you're using?
Probably on Facebook, I'm a little more, I guess, like I wouldn't say lighthearted, but like family friendly. I have family on there, so I'm not gonna be like too crazy. But like Insta and Snap are probably more my honest, vulgar self.
Mm-hmm. So do you think that social media affects the words and phrases we use when we talk to other people?
I would say it probably helps in diffusing that conversation. Like I've never seen something, well, it's like I can't recall seeing a phrase written then heard first, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So like most of the time I've heard, you know, like new phrases like lit or whatever, whatever like, you know, Zoomer terms come up. I hear them in person, then I see them on social media, you know, it's not, I can't really say I've seen it vice versa.
Do you often find communication barriers when you are using words or phrases from social media when you are having in-person conversation?
Oh yeah, for sure. Even just with like, I guess using like AP words, like stuff you can't readily look up, it's just, there is that difference in the medium between online talking and, you know, in person.
Mm-hmm. Are there any specific situations that you can remember?
Moreover, I can specifically recall just talking with like family in person,
Mm-hmm.
and like saying words like caveat are words that like phonetically don't sound like how they're spelled.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're like, oh, like I didn't know it was spelled that way, or oh, I didn't know that's how it was pronounced. Like I'll get that kind of reaction,
Mm-hmm.
but they're from the country, so I guess it really doesn't.
So what do you do when you come across a word or phrase on social media that you don't know the meaning of?
First thing I do is probably just look it up. Most of the time, I don't know. Most of the time, I mean, the only thing I really find issues with is just, I don't know, local slang or any kind of things like that.
Do you often use words from social media in your own communication?
Oh yeah, for sure. Especially if I'm trying to portray myself as like relatable or like if any kind of like knowledge on the topic, you know, I'll adopt like lingo that's kind of related to, you know, whatever the subject area is. Like if we're talking about relating to the younger generation, you know, everyone is seeing, you know, that article from Time Magazine or from BuzzFeed talking about millennials and avocado toast. Like there's a certain scheme, there's a certain schematic that goes along with these things.
So what is your most used word or phrase from social media that you use in your own daily language, and why?
Probably eat. Knowing me, I tend to throw things, I tend to do things very over dramatically, and yeet kind of personifies that.
Do you think that we would have created similar words and phrases if social media didn't exist?
I would say probably not, just because the idea of like, you know, editing videos or editing memes just kind of comes from like the technology, and if we just didn't have that in general, like I can't really see certain things coming about. I mean, you know, there's always been jokes, there's always been like running gags that every generation has, but they're, you know, so those would always still exist no matter what, but I think memes and like catchphrases are kind of just easier to spread around now just because we have, you know, social media and digital stuff. Sorry.